Have you ever noticed how your feelings have the worst timing? Like you meet someone, and it's fine. You're chill. You're witty. You're unbothered. Then one day you realize, oh no, I actually like this person. And suddenly your entire personality turns into a locked door with a welcome mat. You reply slower. You act busy. You stop sending the extra message. You keep your tone casual like you're being paid to do it. You joke when the moment gets soft. You disappear for a day to reset. And the confusing part is you're not pushing them away because you don't care. You're pushing them away because you do. And if you've ever sat there staring at your phone thinking, why am I like this? I want you to know there's a psychological logic under it. Not a you're broken logic, a nervous system logic. Meet the kind that makes perfect sense once you see what your brain is trying to protect. Because the truth is, when you like someone, your brain doesn't just feel excitement, it also feels risk. And your brain is a risk manager wearing a hoodie. Let me paint the scene. Someone texts you something simple. Maybe it's sweet. Maybe it's flirty. Maybe it's just normal, but you read it and you feel that little lift in your chest. That tiny warmth. That I like this feeling. And right after the warmth comes the second feeling. Panic. Not full panic like you're hyperventilating. More like a quiet internal alarm that says, careful, this matters now. And the moment something matters, your brain starts forecasting. It starts running trailers of everything that could go wrong. What if they lose interest? What if you say something weird? What if they get closer and then pull away? What if you get attached and then get embarrassed? What if you're not enough? What if you are too much? It's like your mind goes from living in the moment to running a whole risk assessment report. So you pull back, not because you're cold, because you're trying to control the impact. Think of it like walking into the ocean. Some people just run straight in, get hit by the cold wave, and laugh about it. Other people step in slowly, toe first, then ankle, then shin, because their body needs time to adjust to the intensity. For a lot of people, liking someone is emotional intensity. It's not just romance, it's exposure. It's being seen. It's the possibility of loss. It's your nervous system stepping into cold water. And if your system learned that cold water equals danger, you won't step in, you'll step back. One of the best ways to understand this is through something psychologists talk about in attachment theory. I'll keep it human. Attachment isn't a label you slap on yourself like, I'm avoidant, that's my brand. It's basically the nervous system's learned answer to one question. Is it safe to rely on people? If you grew up in an environment where people were consistent, emotionally available, predictable, your brain learns closeness is safe. I can lean in. But if you grew up with unpredictability, criticism, distance, or the feeling that needs were inconvenient, your brain might learn something else. Closeness is risky. So as an adult, when you like someone, your body doesn't just feel attraction, it feels the old lesson. Don't need, don't lean. Don't get too close. Because needing someone is one of the most vulnerable things a human can do. It's like handing someone the remote control to your mood. You're basically saying, you have the power to make me happy, and the power to ruin my day. And if your nervous system hates giving away power, it will try to take it back. Distance is power. Distance is control. Distance is a way to say, you can't hurt me if you can't reach me. That's why pushing people away can feel weirdly calming in the moment. Not emotionally satisfying, but calming. Because the threat detector in your brain relaxes when the other person is farther away. The same way your body relaxes when you step back from a loud noise. Your brain goes, okay, we're safe again. But then later, you miss them. And you feel confused. Because part of you wants connection, and part of you is guarding it like it's a bank vault. This is where a lot of people get stuck, because they assume they're doing it on purpose, like they're playing games, like they're manipulating. But most of the time, this is not a strategy you chose with your adult brain. It's a strategy your nervous system learned when you were younger. Sometimes you learned it through disappointment. You cared, you leaned in, and someone let you down. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was family. Maybe it was a friendship where you were the one who cared more. Maybe you opened up once and got mocked. Maybe you showed emotion and someone used it against you. Your brain is not poetic about that stuff. It's practical. It files it under avoid pain, repeat safety. So when you start liking someone, your body remembers the last time liking someone hurt, and your body reacts before your logic can defend you. That's why you can watch yourself doing it like you're sitting in the backseat of your own behavior. You're seeing the text. You want to reply. You even hear the helpful voice in your head saying, just respond normally, please. And still, your thumb doesn't move because your survival brain grabbed the steering wheel. Here's another piece. People who push others away often aren't afraid of the person. They're afraid of their own reaction to the person. Because liking someone makes you softer. It makes you more hopeful. It makes you more willing to risk. It makes you more invested. And if you've learned that being invested is dangerous, then the emotion itself feels unsafe. So your mind tries to shut the emotion down. It uses sarcasm, detachment. I don't care anyway. It uses busyness. I've just been so busy. It uses disappearing. I needed space. And sometimes it uses a classic move. You start finding flaws. Not because the person is terrible, but because your brain is trying to reduce the stakes. It's like your mind is scanning for reasons to not care as much, to make it feel less risky. It's not that you're picky. It's that your nervous system is trying to lower the volume. This is also why some people push away right when things are going well. When someone is consistent, kind, and actually available, it can feel unfamiliar. Your brain might even interpret healthy closeness as suspicious, like, why are you being nice? What's the catch? Because for some of us, warmth came with conditions. So when someone is simply warm, your body doesn't know what to do with it. You can't predict it, so you try to control it. You pull away. Now, let's add a little neuroscience, but I promise I won't make it feel like a textbook. Your brain has threat systems designed to detect danger. One of the key players people talk about is the amygdala, which is involved in processing threat and emotional salience. When something feels emotionally significant, like a person you really like, your system can light up. It's not just fear, it's arousal, it's intensity. And if you're already someone who's sensitive to intensity, your body can interpret that activation as something is wrong, even though what's happening is you're bonding. That's why attraction can feel like anxiety. They have similar body signals: faster heartbeat, tight chest, restlessness, hyperfocus. And if your body doesn't trust those sensations, it labels them as danger. So you do the thing that reduces those sensations. You create distance. Distance lowers intensity. And your nervous system goes, thank you. But here's the catch. Distance also blocks connection. So you end up with a pattern that looks like this. You get close, your nervous system freaks out, you pull away, you feel relief, then you feel lonely, then you miss them. Then you get close again, then the nervous system freaks out again. It's like trying to hug someone while your body keeps flinching away at the last second. And if you're in a relationship like that, it's exhausting for both people. So what do? Not the advicey, just communicate version, the nervous system version. First, you stop calling yourself crazy for having a protective response, because shame makes it worse. Shame turns it into, I'm like this because I'm broken. And then your body doubles down on protection. Instead, you treat it like a pattern that has a reason you can learn. Here's a question that changes everything. What are you afraid will happen if you let them get close? Not the polite answer, the real answer. Are you afraid they'll see the real you and leave? Are you afraid you'll lose control? Are you afraid you'll become too attached? Are you afraid you'll be abandoned? Are you afraid you'll have needs you can't hide? Whatever your answer is, that's the wound your nervous system is protecting. And once you know what it's protecting, you can start updating the strategy. Because here's the bigger truth. Pushing people away is a short-term coping skill. It keeps you safe today, but it costs you closeness tomorrow. So the goal isn't to become someone who never needs space. Space is healthy. The goal is to have choice, to be able to take space without turning it into disappearance, to be able to regulate your intensity without cutting off connection. That starts small. It might look like replying even when you feel the urge to vanish. Not with a perfect message, just a normal one. It might look like naming it gently. Hey, I'm not ignoring you. I get a little overwhelmed when I like someone. I'm here. You don't have to trauma dump. You don't have to explain your entire childhood. You just give the other person a map. Because silence without context feels like rejection to most humans. but context turns it into something understandable. You can also practice soft closeness, not full emotional cannonballing, just small doses. A short phone call, a quick meetup, a simple compliment, a tiny piece of honesty. You're training your nervous system like it's learning to tolerate water temperature. And when you feel that urge to sabotage, when you want to withdraw, ghost, act cold, try doing something different but still safe. Instead of disappearing for 3 days, take one day and send one line. I'm recharging today. That's still distance, but it's clean distance. Instead of acting uninterested, ask a real question, not a deep confession, just curiosity. Curiosity is intimacy without panic, because the nervous system can learn a new pattern. Closeness doesn't equal danger. Closeness can equal safety. And yes, because some people will still hurt you, that's life. But pushing everyone away guarantees a different kind of hurt. Loneliness, numbness, regret. So here's the perspective shift I want to leave you with. If you push people away when you like them, you're not heartless. You're not manipulative, you're protective. Your nervous system learned that distance is safer than hope. But you can update that. You can become someone who feels the fear and still chooses connection in small, steady ways. Someone who doesn't confuse intensity with danger. Someone who can like someone without turning it into a battle with your own body. And if this hit home, tell me this in the comments. When do you push people away the most? When they get consistent? When things start feeling real? When you catch yourself getting attached? And if you've been working on it, what helped you soften the armor? If you want more videos like this, deep, human, and actually useful, subscribe and stick around. Because your patterns aren't random. They're your nervous system trying to keep you safe. And you can teach it a safer way to love.